everyone, welcome back to Identity Emergence. It is your host, Brooke, and I am here today to show you 5 steps, or not even steps, sorry, 5 tools to help you elevate your frequency, raise your vibration, shift your energy. All of the above, to be honest. And before I go over all the 5 tools that I personally use as well, I want to go over a little bit on the why because I don't want this to come across as all the time you have to be high vibe, right? Like when I got first introduced to this concept of manifestation and creating your dream life, I thought that it was all about elevating your frequency and only staying here at all times. But it's not humanly possible. It is not possible for your energy to be always high vibe, right? So we experience life. There are shitty days, let's be real, and life happens. When these times happen in our personal life, in the world, and you're feeling down, there are moments and season where you actually have to grieve, you have to feel, you have to understand your thoughts and having and creating the space to honor those thoughts and your emotions, everything. There are time and place for that. There's seasons for that. There are moments you need to do that, right? But at the same time, you could, I'm sure, I'm sure you could tell, where sometimes it's not about always feeling sad and being in that energy, but sometimes you want to get out of that. Like you're in that rut and you just want to pull yourself out of it. And I personally experience these days where I feel just low. But it's not the low where I need to honor my emotions. It's the low that I need to shift my energy out of. And when you distinguish these two, let me know in the comments of the YouTube or in the Spotify comments as well, if you could kind of feel the difference, right? Where sometimes you feel like okay, let me feel my feels, let me be in my like pity party, right? But other days you're like, okay, Brooke, like let's get our shit together. Let's like shake it up. And we need to pull ourselves out of it. So if that moment comes, when that moment comes, I should say, because it comes, these are the 5 tools that I personally use that really help me shift my energy. And instantly, within 10 minutes, I could feel my state of being change. And I promise I'll go into the 5 tools, but I do want to mention quickly something I recently discovered is called the 90-second rule. So your emotional chemicals in the body only last around 90 seconds. Think about that. Only 90 seconds. So why does it feel like it's eternal, right? Like your sad feelings and thoughts, like it feels like it's lasting forever and ever, is because it will only last 90 seconds unless we continue feeding the emotion with our thoughts. Your chemicals in your body, it's only lasting for 90 seconds, but we have thoughts and emotion that comes up with what happened to you or what happened to people. And these thoughts will kind of like force you to feel it over and over and over and over and over again because we're humans. So this is why I wanted to bring these 5 tools up because yes, those 90 seconds, we will feel it and you have to probably feel it. But in the moment where you're like, okay, I'm done, I don't want to feel this no more. And I know I don't have to anymore. I processed this. I know I could get myself out of this. This is the 5 tools that I personally use. So without further ado, let's go into the 5 tools that you could also start incorporating today. And you already may have been doing this. So if you have been doing this and if you feel like this also works for you, please let me know. We're thinking we're like energy. You get me, I get you. But if this is all new to you, I would also love to hear like your thoughts. If you ever tried this, please keep me posted. Okay, so the first one is a journaling method. Now, I know you might be like, journaling. Like I've heard that before. It's not nothing new. But I personally do this method, and without a doubt, every single time I could feel my energy shift in my body. My frequency is different, my energy is different, and my perspective on how I start my day, especially when I start this in the morning, literally shifts. If you're a coach yourself, or if you've been in the business industry, coaching, getting coached, all of the above, you might have came across this method, but I actually took a look on who created this method, and we have the same first name, so that was kind of cool. So, Brooke Castillo. She is someone who created this method. So I forgot the name of the method, but this is basically how it works. So there's CTFAR. Yeah, you're like, what is she talking about? Let me break it down. So when you're journaling, first, what you want to do is write your C, and C is your circumstance. And the following letters that I just yapped is thought, T for thought, F for feeling, A for action, R for result. So your circumstance, your thought, your feeling, action, result. Those five pillars almost, those 5 points you want to journal it, and what you want to do after is rewriting it. So what do I mean by that? This is exactly what I do. First part of your journal prompt, for the circumstance, you want to write down the actual circumstance that you're experiencing on a neutral level. So let's say for me, I usually do this almost every morning, and 9.5 times out of 10, it's around my business and how I want to expand and how I want to grow. That's the season that I'm in right now. So for me, I'll write down, okay, I'm one of the manifestation in the process of what I'm manifesting is a 10K month. My highest month has been like 8.6. And I'm like, okay, I want to break that wall. I want to reach that 10K month. And it has been my manifestation process. And I do this personally. So this is like a little vulnerable share, to be honest. But for circumstance, I will put, I want to make 10K months. It's not saying like, I want to, but I don't know if I can, or I want to, but I don't know when it will come. I want to, but maybe it's not realistic. Like, I'm not saying all that. What I'm saying is, I want a 10K month. That's it. Neutral. And you write that down. For your thoughts, when you write that down, there's going to be a lot of limiting beliefs or thoughts that is supporting or like contradicting your desires. So as an example for me, I will say, but I never hit 10K months, or maybe people don't want to buy from me, or like my offer sucks, or like anything during that you'd be surprised. Like when you're starting to write down your thoughts, you're like, ew, like this is what I'm thinking. No wonder my manifestation isn't coming through, because these thoughts exist within you. You're just letting it out in a journal, right? On your paper. So you write down and be honest. No one's fucking looking. Be honest and write down all the thoughts that you are thinking based on the sentence that you wrote from your circumstance. So again, circumstance, then we're writing down the thoughts. Then we go and tap into the feeling behind it. Feeling of maybe I'm not enough, right? Feeling like you're a failure, feeling like you're nervous, anxious, overwhelmed, confused, uncertain. Like all these emotions will come up, and you will write that down. And as you're writing, you're like, oh, this is not a pleasant feeling to be felt in my body. And you will feel it, and that's okay. The whole point is for you to feel it, to know what you're thinking, and you're gonna write all of that down. And if you need help on identifying your feeling, I think you could just search, I don't know what the official name is, the emotional chart or something like that on Google search. Just do a little like emotional wheel chart, and then it will show all the emotions that you may be feeling, and it just helps you break it down more tangibly, where you could understand certain emotions better. Sometimes we just need to see a word and you're like, that's what I'm feeling, right? So that is another recommendation if you're kind of having a hard time digesting your emotion. And once you have your circumstance, then your thoughts behind them, then your feeling, you're going to write down the action. So if I'm thinking this way and feeling this way, naturally, what type of action would I be taking? You might be taking an action that feels more like hustly, where you feel like you are doing things because you have to, not because it feels in alignment. Maybe you making posts on your content because you feel like this is what I have to do. And there's like the pressure. So like your action is coming from the should. And as a result, the last one, the R, result, is going to be the result that you will get based on all the thoughts and emotion and your action. Even though you want to 10K months, what is going to be the result? So naturally, if you're in this like pressury energy and you feel like you have to, and you feel stuck and you're not expansive and you're not open to receive, your opposite of that, your result might be, yeah, you might get another 5K, a 6K month, maybe 8K month because you did it before. But then you're right below the 10K mark that you want to hit. So this is something I'm rewiring currently. So again, this is a vulnerable share. So hopefully this is something that's helping you imagine what it could look like for you. But if you're like, girl, I don't even have a business, that's not my priority. Another example I could share, I wrote it down over here, is let's say circumstance. So we're going back to the CTFAR, is someone didn't text me back. That's just what it is, facts. Then you have thoughts of like, maybe they don't care about me. Maybe I said something wrong. And this doesn't have to be like a relationship, right? It could just be like business partnership or someone that you thought will be friends with you, anything. And then you just write down, maybe they don't care about me, maybe I was too much, maybe I said the wrong thing, blah, blah, blah. And then your feelings will feel like you're being rejected. You feel like you're not valuable. And action from that will be you might spiral and you might shut down. And as a result, you just feel very disconnected. Maybe the person also feels your energy because we're all energy beings, right? We move through our energy, take action through our feelings and our emotion. And then as a result, you just feel disconnected. You're not happy and you're making a big deal out of it. And that'll be the reality that you're going to live if you don't rewire your thoughts. So what we're going to do in the next page, you're going to flip over, you're going to go to the next page, and you're going to do the same exact thing, but we're going to rewire them. So using myself again as an example, circumstance, right? I said I want to make 10K months. Now the thoughts that I had before are like very limiting. No fucking wonder I can't make 10K months, right? Like because I'm saying like maybe I won't be able to, maybe blah 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 blah. All these negative thoughts are coming from me hearing 10K months. So in order for me to rewire that, I have to write in my thoughts, I am so excited to see who my next client is going to be. I am so excited to receive my 10K months and to buy this because it's going to help me do this, like blah, 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 blah. And you're going to write down all the thoughts that will come as the version of you who has the 10K months, what it required for that version of you to think, right? Because the current version of you clearly not making the 10K months is lacking something. So for the 10K month version of you who have earned 10K months, that version, she had a different thought. So those thoughts you're going to write down. And for the next page, even the first page, you don't have to do all of this in order. What I like to do is write the circumstance and flipping it and having the result also match it as well. So in the next page, the new rewiring page of this journal prompt, for the result, I will write down, I make 10K months consistently, or I just made my 10K months. So like the result is me making the 10K months. So in order for me to get to the result, I also need to write down all these thoughts that will align with the version of me who has and created the result of the 10K months. Okay. So once you write down all your thoughts of like, I'm so excited, like clients are everywhere and my name is being spoke and I am taking up space, I'm being more visible, all of the above. Then you write down the feeling, and you could probably feel in the shifted energy where the feelings are also now like open to receive, expansive, excited, joyful, grounded, calm, knowing. Once you identify the thoughts and the feeling that you need to feel in order for you to get the result, then you're also going to get clear on the action that's going to lead you to your result. So before it was like forcing yourself to post, or like maybe feeling overwhelmed and not posting at all and not really doing anything in your business, to actually taking action by having a better calendar day, or like managing your time better, committing to posting like 5 times out of the week, but then those posts are something that feels aligned for you, that feels exciting. You're speaking from your truth, from your experience, and the desire to wanting to help other women. And that's a different energy than the one before, right? So then the action will now align with the result that you desire. So going back to the other example I mentioned about someone not texting you back, circumstance, this person did not text me back. And before, you may have made it about yourself. But these thoughts are that I trust that universe will only bring in people who are aligned for me. I know that I made a good first impression, whether for your job interview, for your first day, whatever it is, right? And I am confident in who I am, and how I present it is more than enough. I am enough. I am worthy. And writing all those thoughts down. maybe your feeling will feel more calmer, more relaxed, more self-love is present, right? Like you love the version of you and who you are and honoring that. You might also feel more grounded, calm, and then the action that you're going to take is instead of hitting this person up over and over and over, being like, hey, so like, what's up, what's up? You might be like, okay, let me just follow up once, maybe follow up twice. Also, like just being detached, like trusting that what you've did is more than enough, being able to detach because that's already in the past. And then as a result, if the someone that you're wanting that reply back from is aligned, they might reply back to you. Right now, you don't have that wall that's creating you. It's because like before, you might have been like, oh my god, like are you gonna reply back to me? And like you're all nervous and like almost like shaking that person for an answer. But now because you're so detached, you might get a reply back. You might get that job. You might be more open to receiving, or you also may not receive what you thought you will, but you're not making it about yourself. You're okay with it, and then you have the space and the capacity to move on to what's next and what's aligned for you next. So I know that is so. I feel like that should have been a podcast on its own, like an episode on its own. But this is some like one of the things that my mom always used to tell me. She's Japanese, I'm Japanese, is 騙されたと思ってやってみ. That's basically what she's saying, or the meaning behind that is like, do it thinking that you got tricked into doing it. And sometimes when we hear all these like tools and like what you should be doing, and you're kind of like, does that really work, right? But with this tool, 騙されたと思ってやってみ, do it really not expecting too much. You might be surprised at how much your energy literally shifts when you're doing this journal prompt, because you're literally rewiring your reality. You're not sticking to your current, and you're rewiring what you desire it to be. And your body will literally shift. Your frequency will shift. And every time I do this in the morning, without a doubt, my energy is much more high vibe. So this is one of the tools that could take 10 minutes, maybe even less, depending on what you're writing down. It could also take longer, to be honest, but on average, it will take about 10 minutes, maybe 15. And you will be so grateful that you did this for yourself. So that is my number one tool, actually, that I introduced to you. Number one, I could have saved it to the very end, but I wanted to show this because this is a tool now I go to over and over, and especially those days when I just like wanting to pull myself out of this like rut. Okay, number two is also it's going to work because it now is relating to your personal style. I talk all about intentional styling. I want your style to be part of your manifestation tool. I want your style to be like an amplifier. I want it to amplify you. So your personal style is also going to play a huge role in shifting your energy. So if you ever gotten dressed in the morning, you kind of like forcing yourself, you're like, okay, I don't want to put on makeup, but let me just put on makeup. Let me like do my hair. Let me wear the cute clothes. And if you ever did that at least once in your life, you will know that the way your energy shifts, it's crazy, right? It's like magic. Like your clothes are kind of like, it's very magical when it's in alignment. So obviously think about, if you're getting ready for like a girls' night out, like what you were wearing before and what you change into with your hair down, makeup down, like that energy is so different. I'm not saying you have to like glam all day. If that's your go to, do it. What you put on your body literally shifts your energy instantly, and it creates a different identity for yourself. For most people, they get dressed every morning based on how they feel. But if you want to elevate your energy and shift your energy and get yourself out of that rut, you want to get dressed in the way you desire to feel. So instead of getting dressed based on how you feel, get dressed on how you want to feel. And that will make a huge difference on your day-to-day productivity. And you'll be surprised. Like I had my client like message me telling me that when she gets dressed with the clothes that we bought together, like she feels like she has more energy afterwards, right? Like after work, after her 9 to 5, she actually feels like she has more energy. Your clothes gets to be that. It gets to support you and your lifestyle. It actually gets to help you in your manifestation, help you in your lifestyle, help you shift identities. But most people just wear clothes just to wear clothes. And sure, there's busy seasons where we just have to like throw on and like run errands, and we feel like life is just like constantly moving, right? But if you ever want to even take a breather to like honor yourself and like feel into your body and honor what feels good to you, for you, you get to also play dress up a little bit. And it doesn't have to be like something that's not practical. You could still be very practical and still feel elevated. So what you wear really matters, really, really, really matters, and how your energy shifts. And even if you want to go in deeper, natural fibers versus synthetic fibers. Natural fiber, especially like cashmere and even like cotton, like they elevate much higher on a higher frequency than something synthetic. So what you put on your body literally impacts your mood, your behavior, your frequency. And if you're someone who's like, I need proof to like know that's actually true, look up a lot of studies actually, but one of them in clothes cognition, it will show how much your behavior shifts based on the symbolic meaning behind the clothes that you put on your body. We act differently, our productivity shifts when we wear clothes. And when it's in alignment, when it's intentional, it can help you boost your energy. Your dopamine level will shift. Your productivity will shift. Like everything will shift. And it literally takes you 10 minutes in the morning to get dressed. So if you're someone like, but Brooke, like I just wear the same thing over and over. It's not fun, blah, blah, blah. Try accessorizing. Try adding maybe like a bow lip, right? Try wearing heels instead of sneakers. Like little changes, small changes that you make in your day-to-day outfit, and see and absorb how much your energy shifts based on what you wear. Once you start to be aware of it, you're going to notice how much like shit gets done, how much you may be like showing up more on social media if that's something you do. You will notice an immediate difference when you wear clothes that helps you elevate your frequency. So don't be in your PJs or your sweats all the time, okay? Especially if you work from home, I get it. But just change your shirt, change your bottoms, change something, and absorb how much that will shift. Tip number 1, tip number 2, these two tools are my like top go-to. Always, without a doubt, always works. Even in those days when I'm just like, oh, I don't know, like, I don't know, I'm kind of doubting myself. It always works. And the last 3 also works super well, but it also just depends on like the time of the day, if you could do it or not. Like, you can't just do this like immediately unless you work from home or whatever. But this one, number 3, is to just move your body. Move your body, move something, move that stagnant energy that you are having in your body outward. We're gonna shift the energy. We're gonna change the energy. What I personally actually feel connected to recharge my body and my energy is singing. And I've had like multiple like psychics and mystics, like they will tell me like how I'm connected really to my throat and my vocal cords. And when I sing, I was once told like when you sing, it's kind of like you're recharging your own battery. And whenever I sing, like I feel very magnetic, I feel good. And like I have not been singing that much like since living with people, like, but when I was growing up, like that's all I would do, especially in the shower. Like I have a whole concert. But when I have the time in the space where I feel more comfortable too, I like to sing. I like to use my voice, and that also shifts my vibration, literally shifts my vibration. So for you, it could be literally working out. So it may take actually more than 10 minutes, but with the 10 minutes that you dedicate yourself, you could literally just like shake the energy off. You could literally shake your body. You could look stupid, that's fine. Just shake the energy out. Twerk also, hello, twerk and move your energy, because you'll be so surprised with how much our energy, like the ones that we carry in our body, are just so stuck and stagnant, and we just need to find a way to release it. Sometimes, yes, it's about journaling. Sometimes we have to meditate, but sometimes we also don't need all the explanation of like why are we feeling the way we are. We just need to get it out of us, right? We just need to shake it off. Oh, okay, shake it off, like do whatever you like, right? And for me, what I also like to do is just like stretching, like a nice morning stretch. Oh, I love it so much. At this age, I'm not old. I'm not saying like I am old, but when I hit like the age of 26, I'm 28 now, like my body literally shifted. Like I have to stretch every single day. Like my body is different. And when I do stretch and give myself time to stretch every morning, I feel lighter, obviously with my body, but also with my energy. I just feel like something just got released, which is very important. We need to release that. So my number tip number three was to move your body. It could be from your voice, like that resonates with me. It could be just like a little stretch. It could be shaking your ass for 10 minutes. Like if you're feeling overwhelmed with something, like during a break, take 10 minutes, set a timer, even like 5 minutes if you want, or to a song. Just shake it, move your body, right? I know it sounds like stupid if you've never done it before, but just trust the process. 騙されたと思ってやってみ, right? Do it thinking that you got tricked into and see how much your energy shifts. This is also going to calm your nervous system down. This is also going to help you get rid of the nerve. So I do be liking this tip. I do be liking it. I do it almost every morning for the morning stretch, as I mentioned, but I also do incorporate it here and there throughout my day. And it's a nice way to kind of like reset your energy. So that would be my tip number three. Tip number four is finding your community. So I am very lucky to have my bestie. She is also an entrepreneur. She's also spiritual, and we're very multidimensional. Like we could go from talking about like dating and like intimacy and sex to talking about the universe and to talking about how to expand our business. Like our topics could like go from like literally anywhere from anywhere. And when I talk to my bestie, when I talk to also my fiance, my people, my community, my village, I always end up being in a higher vibrational state. And sometimes when you're feeling low, you just need to borrow someone's energy. And of course, like I just don't like call and be like, and start venting. Like we have like, even with my fiance, my bestie, like I ask like, do you have space for me? So I could vent and I could hear their feedback and like help me feel more grounded and knowing that I'm not crazy, right? Or what I'm going through is that it's valid. When you feel seen and when you are being held by others, you could also feel it by end of the call or that conversation that your elevation, your frequency, and you elevated your frequency by the end of the conversation. And this is something I'm very blessed to have, like my people that I could just call or like reach out to, talk to my fiance. And these are it can never be the people who will bring you down. It could never be the people to make you feel bad about yourself. If anyone in your close friend group is making you feel that way, reevaluate, right? Because yes, we are humans, we make stupid choices and we sometimes need to get called out on our shit. But most of the times, your friends and your bestie, your village, your people are supposed to help you also be seen, held. But at the end of that, at the result of that, you will also feel a shift in energy. Your frequency will rise. You're gonna raise your frequency. So yeah, like every time I talk to my bestie too, we always say like, damn, you just shifted my frequency. Thank you. Because it's true. Like beginning of the call to end of the call, we're different people, right? And sometimes again, it's just about pulling ourselves out of that low frequency and having someone to help you support that is also beautiful. And it took me forever to find my bestie. Okay, we met like almost going on 3 this years ago. And I'm just like, it took you like my 25 years of me like finding you, but it's all worth it, right? It's all worth the wait. And even with my fiance, like he's my person. Like I tell him everything. He understands me and I'm very lucky to have him by my side. And all my other friends, my best friends, all in Japan. Why are all my besties living in a foreign country? That's another thing too. Yeah, not really happy about, but grateful to have them. And whenever I do catch up with my friends from back home, like the ones, like literally my day ones who I grew up with, and I just get to witness their journey and like catch up, like that also elevates my frequency as well. So, and at the end of the day, that's all we want, right? As humans, to be seen, to be understood, to be held. And sometimes if you're like, Brooke, I don't have my bestie, girl, that was me too. It took me a while to find my people that I could feel safe around. But when you do, hold on to that. And, energy is contagious. It is contagious. And when we need to just like borrow that boost of energy, having that people around you is going to be so helpful. So if you're stubborn like me, like this is something I had to grow and understand. But if you're feeling like, oh, I have my people, but I don't know how to rely on them, just start slow, right? Just ask them like, hey, I'm going through something. Can you hold space for me? Can I vent to you? And see how much your people, your core people could like show up for you in your life. Last tip number 5 is to connect with your why. Now, I was kind of thinking like, what if we created a why board, right? I was like, that would be kind of cool. So it's different. It is partially, yes, it's your vision board, like your direction, why, and purpose. But the connecting to the why and why I wanted to bring this up is because sometimes when we're, when life is lifing, when things are happening in our lives, we get so caught up on what's happening around us, and we life gets busy, right? And when things are happening around us and we feel like things are out of control, or we feel like our limiting beliefs are like stopping you and you feel like you're not where you want to be at in life, we get in our head and we start to question kind of everything. And when that happens, I like to also look back at my why, like my whole reason of like why I'm doing the things I'm doing. And maybe if you're an entrepreneur, you could also relate more as well. But people who have their own businesses, they will always say like your entrepreneurship is like self-development and on crack. Like it's on crack. It's on times 100, because it will reveal all your limiting beliefs, your identity, what you're not doing enough, how you're not taking up space, where you could grow, and like it will reveal all of them. And when this is happening, like, when I'm growing myself and my business is growing with me, I can't help but to focus on the lack sometimes, because that's how our minds are programmed, right? I'm looking at the lack and I'm just like, why am I doing the things I'm doing? Like, am I even helping people? Like, is this like aligned with my soul mission? Like, am I even doing anything right? Like, I start to question everything, but and like the lifestyle and every choices that I made. But when that happens, like when I'm in my head, I like to connect back to my why. And yes, it's big part of it is my vision, like what I want to create and why I'm doing the things I'm doing. But also just like the little whys where, for example, yes, the vision is to eventually have the car that I want, which I don't even know what my dream car is. I don't know why I say car, but I would like to get a new car someday, to like, getting a new house in my dream home, and having our dream wedding, and having certain amount of financial security. And like these are all the things that I want for myself through my business as well. But big part of my why is like building a community, of the community that I never thought I will have. I want women to feel like they're more than enough. I want people to feel like they're more than enough just the way they are. I don't want people shrinking anymore. I don't want people hiding. I have a big purpose. I know I do. And I know that I'm meant to bring in a community. And I know that my personal experience in life is going to help me teach other also women who may feel like they're the different ones and they need to shrink, and showing them that you don't have to on an identity level, but also in your personal style. So I like to connect back to like why I'm doing this. And if I'm looking at my personal life, like I desire to go back home. I'm from Japan, where I could visit back home like twice a year. I want that time freedom. I want to be able to grow old with my friends and with my best friends, and see my mom and, witness their journey, quality time with the people I love. Like those are my deep, deep whys. And yes, the dream house, yes, the dream whatever is also a big part of it. But I like to reconnect with my purpose, my mission, my why, because sometimes it's not just about the money or the car that you want or the jewelry that you want and even the clothes that you want, right? Like I want a big ass walk-in closet in the future, okay? I want a huge one. I desire that. But sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's about the connection that you're craving, the freedom that you're craving, what in Japanese people say ikigai, right? Like you're feeling purposeful in the life that you're living. And sometimes I think we are so easily forgetting our why because life is busy, life keeps happening. And yeah, in those moments, I like to connect back to the why that is not just the big vision, but also in the tiny moments, right? Like little things that's going to bring me joy, little things that's going to make me appreciate and love this human experience. So, those are my 5 tools that I have whenever I need to shift my energy, elevate my frequency, just, pull myself out of that rut. These are the 5 tools that I lean and have them support me in my day-to-day life. So, I hope you also try one of these. And if you are trying any of these, let me know how that's working for you because I mean, isn't it amazing how little tools like that could take 10 minutes could shift our energy? Because remember, again, 90-second rule, we only feel emotions for 90 seconds. After that, it's all up to your thoughts and how you navigate it. So hopefully these tools could also just help you, right? Pull you back and ground you and just go about your day. And if this episode resonated with you, or if you feel like someone else could use these tips, share this episode with them. Tag me on Instagram, post me on your story. I would love to know your takeaways and if you ever try any of these. So I will leave with that, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will catch you in my next episode. Bye! Mata ne!